Good morning, ladies. Let's just do a quick test and see if I need this microphone or if the videographer forces me to use it, which I bet you he is going to force me to use it. I see his head shaking. Okay, that's fine. I'll keep it. Okay, so happy Saturday. But first, let's just do a quick pulse check in the room. Where are my morning people? Who in the room are like certified morning people? And who's like, I don't really want to be up, but I'm committed to today and I will get up? Okay, all right. That's cool. All right, so I am a certified morning person. I've been a morning person for a long time, but I'm not a night person. So when it gets dark, my body's like, okay, like it's time to go to sleep now. But anyway, I'm very excited to be here with you all. Thank you to the entire Save a Girl, Save a World leadership team and the board for inviting me to be a part of today. And I'll start out by warning you that I am a super transparent speaker. So all that super curated stuff that you saw up there, like I'm really super honest. So it's whatever you ask me today, I'm going to 100% tell you the 100% transparent truth. So don't let that video fool you. But first, let me share with you that 7 years ago, I started a company called Scarlet Communications. And I started that company specifically with the intent to teach etiquette to teen girls in Detroit, which is where I'm from. I now live in Washington, D.C., but I travel back and forth to Detroit now probably 2 or 3 times a month for business. I am one of those people who, when I have an idea, I literally just start doing it. Like, I don't think about it for like months and months. I don't research it for like years and years. If I say I want to write a book, I literally just start writing a book. If I say I want to start a company, I literally just start doing stuff to start the company. And that's something that I want you to consider doing. I'm not saying go out and make bad decisions, but what I am saying is don't spend like years researching and then thinking about it and researching again and thinking about it. Literally, like, just start doing the stuff that you want to do. But when I decided I wanted to teach etiquette, quite honestly, ladies, I didn't 100% know what I was doing. And so I needed to find some companies to test this out with. And there was a company at the time, and it's still around, called the Rhonda Walker Foundation. There's a news anchor in Detroit. Her name's Rhonda Walker. She has a nonprofit focused on inner city teen girls. And I was like, well, it looks like these girls need etiquette, so let me volunteer and teach etiquette to them. And I gave. I did free training for them, and every year I fly back and do free training for them, and I will continue to do that for as long as my company's alive. Ladies, that one act of giving has paid off for me year after year after year. And so I'm really pleased today that the theme is all about service, because when you start giving, like when you start just doing stuff and giving stuff away to people, giving away your gifts, that stuff comes back tenfold. And sometimes you'll think like, oh, I'm volunteering again, or I gotta do this for free again. And then you realize like that stuff comes back to you. Rhonda has interviewed me on TV, interviews that I never would have gotten if I would have not paid it forward and volunteered for her organization. And maybe she would have, but I think that really helped out a lot. So today, I want you to really embrace this thought of service, like give. You didn't get speaking gifts and dancing gifts and drawing gifts for nothing. Like, you got those gifts to do something with them. So do it. So I'm happy that today is about service and giving, but I also want to warn you that I am an overgiver. Like, I probably give way more than I should, and I'll probably give you way more information that you need today. So I am going to ask you, if you have a notebook, if you want to take out your phone, like, phones don't scare me as long as you're being responsible with them. If you want to take out your phone, take notes, whatever you want to do, it's fine. But I want to warn you that I'll probably give you a little bit too much, where you may feel a little overwhelmed. So don't feel like you have to write down every single word. Know that you can connect with me. You are officially in my circle. And what that means is that if Glenda ever says, hey, Jaqueline, there's a young lady who needs some mentoring, it'll be easy for me to say, what does she need? Because now you're officially in my circle. And I can't do this for everybody because I'm on a plane at least once or twice a week. So know that today when I give, I'm going to overgive. I'm going to give you way more than what you need, but just feel free to connect with me and ask questions at any time, okay? What makes you most confident? So first of all, I'm an etiquette teacher. So let's just fix something right out the gate. What do you do to, if you want to post a good, solid photo, what's your trick? If you're like, hey, I got this bomb photo, I'm about to post it, but I want to make sure it's good. Like, what do you do? Lighting. Lighting's good. What else do you do? What is the angles? You got to hit the angles. Angles are good. What else? Smooth a little. Smooth. Oh, so like use the editing tools? Oh, okay. All right, girl. That's like advanced. So, okay, so she asked, how's the picture look? What do you do?
It's certain times where I post, so I think I might get the most likes.
Okay, and I made that mistake this morning. I posted on my social media page today at like 5 o'clock, and I was like, this was a bad time. Like, my engagement's a little bit low. So I need to delete that photo and post it in an hour when everybody's woke, right? But I want to give you a tip on how to ensure that your photos look good. All those things count, but the other thing that counts is your posture. Posture is one of the single largest ways to fix how you look. And so today we're gonna learn what that looks like. So today they've given us good chairs to have an example on. Most chairs, ladies, aren't designed for us to have good posture. Do you see how this chair leans back? Nobody's back leans back like that in real life, okay? Which means that in order for us to have good posture, we have to sit up off the back of the chair just a little bit. So I'm gonna challenge you today. Every now and then I'm gonna say, ladies, posture check, and all I want you to do is just sit up off the back of the chair. Because this, you tell me which one looks better. Number 1 or number 2? It's number 2, right? Number 1 or number 2? It's number 2 all day long. All right, so let's do it. All the good posture means is that you're rolling your shoulders back and you're letting it stick. Okay, and that's all you're doing. So ladies, posture check. Your back shouldn't be touching the back of the chair. One of the reasons why I'm telling you this is because if you haven't noticed, it's a lot of photos being taken today. And what do you think is gonna happen with those photos? They're gonna get posted online, right? And you're gonna look at it like, why they post that raggedy photo of me? Well, if your posture was better, it would have been a better photo. So I'm gonna challenge you today to just fix your posture. But I'm hoping that sitting up straight and good photos will make you more confident. But what else makes you more confident? I'm gonna challenge you to move around. So in just a second, I'm gonna give you permission to get up and work the room. You're gonna have a conversation with somebody. Doesn't matter who it is. I want you to have at least a 2-minute conversation with somebody about what makes you most confident. But let me share with you what makes me most confident. You can guess. What do you think it is? What do you think makes me the most confident? Speaking? Nope. Helping others? Nope. Serving? Nope. It's something that's really vain. It's my hair. Who else feels really confident once you go get your hair done? Right? And don't let me add getting my eyebrows done with that. And my nails? Please, you can't tell me anything, right? So I want you to have a conversation today with whomever you like about what makes you confident. You will get up, you will go talk to somebody that you are not super comfortable with or you don't know very well, and you'll do it in 2 to 4 minutes. Okay, ready? Let's go. Work the room. Leave your phones. Leave your phones at your table. You don't need them. Okay, ladies, pause wherever you're at. Let me have you pause where you're at. Don't sit down. Don't sit down, but let me get some answers for you, okay? Who met someone interesting and they told you something? Okay, boom, here we go. Tell me who you met and tell me what you learned. Okay, new rule. You cannot start any answer out, not just with my session, but anyone today. I want you to watch your ums, likes, and so's. You know how people ask you a question and you're immediately like, so, like. The reason why we do that is because we don't like the silence. And we want to fill the silence with something. If you guys recall, former President Barack Obama, he used to take him a long time to answer questions. You guys remember that? Hey, you know, how old are you? Dude, you know how old you are, right? But if you also notice, he rarely misstepped because he thought about what he was going to say before he said it. So I want you ladies to just stop and think about your answer before you dive into it. So watch your ums, your likes, and your so's to start the statement. If you hit me with the so in the middle of the sentence, that's okay. But don't just go hit me with the so, all right? Sorry to cut you off. Let's go back in.
This is Ashley.
Okay.
She's a senior in high school, and what makes her confident is like when she gets her hair done.
Okay, so Ashley's a senior in high school, and what makes her confident is getting her hair done. Welcome to the tribe. Okay. Who else? Who met someone interesting and you'd like to tell me about them? Yes, who'd you meet and what did you learn?
Sorry.
No, you're good. It was in the middle. It was in the middle.
She's a senior at Clark University, and we both share a lot of things. So we're just gonna say the whole shebang. Like, we don't realize how much women put into themselves in the morning because it's innate. So everything about hygiene and personal care makes us happy.
Okay, I support you. All right. Tell me this. What was the first thing you did when you walked up to engage with your other person? What was your first step? Well, I mean, like, what was, like, tell me, like, not introduction, but tell me specifically what the first step.
Hey.
Handshakes.
Hey.
You need me? Got it. Okay. Okay, so my direction here, and I may need you to help me, is if you're talking, I'm going to give you the mic so that we can record it. Okay, so work with me today on that one. You said a handshake. Did anyone do anything else? What was your first?
I just was like, hey girl.
She was just like, hey girl. All right, what was your first step? You hugged. Okay, so let's come back to that. What else? Anybody else had a first step? Smile. Did anyone else have a first step?
Eye contact.
Did anybody really intentionally give eye contact? Okay, I'm getting some yeses and I'm getting some maybe because you're standing there and that's what I'm going to say. Who here doesn't like to look people in the eyes? Be honest. Okay, let me be honest with you in saying that I've looked no one in the eye all day today. I've had a wonderful conversation. I rode in the car with people today. I walked up to Glenda, I gave her a hug today. I've given no one eye contact. I'm about to roll right up on her and I'm still not giving her eye contact. Because when I leave the house in the morning, I'm on. Like I don't get on once I walk in this room, I'm on once I walk out of my hotel room. And so I'm working. Even though this is fun and we're kicking it, I'm still working. So I always look people in one of two places, either the bridge of their nose or right over their head. So from this distance, I'm looking you over the head. So turn to your neighbor and look them in the bridge of their nose. It looks like you're looking at them, right? But you're really not, okay? So if you're someone, listen up ladies, if you're someone and you're nervous about that, you're like, okay, this is something I have to work on, just use those tips, okay? So eye contact's our first step. What's our second step? What's the second step? But what specifically is the second step? Shake hands. Shaking hands is the second step of an introduction. How many pumps go in a handshake? Two. So eye contact, firm grip, 2 pumps, and release, okay? Now listen, let me tell you a quick story. When I was 23, I was getting my undergraduate degree from Wayne State University. And my boss, Gretchen, took me into this other woman's office named Zemen, Z-E-M-E-N. Gretchen said, Jaqueline meet Zemen, Zemen meet Gretchen. And Zemen shook my hand like this. Everyone turn to your neighbor and shake their hand. Just do it. I want you to see how it feels. Okay. It feels like a wet rag. It's nasty. It's just nasty, right? Ladies, what do you think I did? I didn't go off. Ladies, I was 22. I didn't shut down. I didn't pull it away. I didn't do it the right way. I did something that we do every single day. I rolled my eyes in my mind, which means that
You disconnected.
No, I judged her. I thought, what woman shakes a hand like this? Right? But what I didn't think about was Zemen was from Iraq. Zemen had fled here from Iraq, and no one had taught her, this is how you boldly go up to someone, look in the eye, and shake hands. And that's what we do, right? And that's not what I want you to do after today. I don't want you to learn all these nice, cool etiquette techniques and then walk around and think, well, everybody must know how to shake hands, because everybody has not been through this class. Everyone hasn't had the privilege of coming through this. If I would have continued to judge Zemen, I would have missed out on one of the best relationships I've ever had in my life. Zemen and I started a wedding planning company for 8 years together. Zemen flew to Mexico to plan my wedding for me. If I called Z right now and said, look Z, I'm in Atlanta, I'm with a bunch of women, we need to raise $2,000 by tomorrow, what you got? She got half on it, with no questions asked. So listen, I want you to learn this cool stuff, but I want you to understand that just because you know it doesn't mean the rest of the world knows it. Maybe it's your opportunity to pay it forward. Okay, so be careful with missing out on great relationships on judging people on stuff that you think they should know. All right, we get our eyebrows done and then we start judging everybody else. Well, your eyebrows not done. Your eyebrows were just undone 2 days ago. Like you were right there with her. So just be careful, all right? So first step, eye contact. Second step, handshake. I heard a hug. After this point, I'll let you sit down, I promise. Ladies, just by a show of hands, who here likes hugs? Okay, all right. Ladies, look around. Everybody look around. Let's survey the room. Put your hands down. Ladies, who doesn't like hugs? Everybody look around. I say that because the people who like hugs have a hard time understanding how other people don't like hugs. And it's okay. It is not your job to go push hugs on people, even in church. Some people don't like hugs, and it's okay. For trauma reasons, they don't want to be touched. Just don't assume that, don't do this to people. Girl, give me a hug. Like, everybody doesn't like hugs like that. So just be mindful, especially in business, that the move is a handshake. The move is not a hug. Okay, all right, let's go back to our seats. Thank you, ladies. Okay, so we talked about when we're most confident, but you know, it's not all the time that our hair is done and our nails are done and that we're our closest girlfriends. So just remember that it'll be necessary for you to continuously put stuff in your toolkit that keeps you more confident. And I've had to do that for my entire life. I'm 37 and I'm still putting stuff in my toolkit, like what makes me more confident, what makes me happier, whatever. So last year I wrote a book. The book is called Leader by Mistake. And it really talks about all the mistakes that I've made on my leadership journey. And the reason why I bring that up is because for the past year I've been on a book tour. And on this book tour, I've got a bunch of different experiences, but more importantly, people walk up to me all the time and tell me all their business. I was just telling the woman who I was sitting next to at my table that people just walk up to me and share all their business with me. I want to start this. I want to start that. Can you tell me, Jaqueline, how to start this? I want to start this legal firm. I want to write a book. Ladies, listen. I am into this stuff because I chose to be into this stuff. No one came over to me and said, hey, Jaqueline, you should write a book. You should start a company. What I want you to be careful doing, like I said before, is waiting for permission for stuff. Today, you have what it takes to be confident. You have what it takes to start the stuff that you want to do. Now, might you have to learn some more stuff along the way? Yes. But you want to do hair? Start doing hair. You want to do nails? Start doing nails. You want to start a resource group for young women? Start a resource group for young women, and then find other people to help you out along the way. So don't think that you have to wait for permission to do stuff. You can do it. But along the way, it may get it may not always be simple. It may get a little bit complicated. And let me tell you how the complication happens. How many jobs do you think I've had in my life? 4? I'm a good gift giver. How many jobs have I had? 15. Did you say 15? Okay, see me later on. I've had 15 jobs in my life. Ready? You want me to prove it? Here we go. Subway, Dots, Hallmark, Research Federal Credit Union, Avance Communications, Wayne State University, Yazaki North America, Velasquez. I went back to Wayne State University. Piece of advice, don't burn bridges, because then they won't hire you again, all right? Comerica, AAA of Michigan, Tweddle North America, SPX, Opal E Event Planning, my first company. You see how I started a company and then went back to corporate? Sometimes it happens. Michigan Women's Foundation, Scarlet Communications, AARP Innovation Labs. I say all that because sometimes we start our career and we're like, oh, I did this, so now I'm gonna be successful. Oh, I graduated, so now I'm about to make a bunch of money, right? Ladies, this whole thing called life is a journey, step by step. Right? I am 37 and I do not have it figured out, and I've accomplished a lot of stuff and done a lot of cool things and made a lot of money, but I am still figuring it out. Our entire table over there, we were having the same conversation, and we are really grown women. Don't think that you become 30 and it's like I have it all figured out. And you don't want to have it all figured out, because life is this exciting journey and it is okay for you to figure it out along the way. But you have to commit to a journey of lifelong learning, and you have to step into this L word, okay? I want to make sure that today you walk away with some foundational things that you can use so that when things get tough, you get a little bit stressed out, you can go back to these things, okay? But first I have a question. Who here is a leader? Okay, we're looking at about 60%, right? I'm going to argue you down that everybody here is a leader. And here's how. I'm going to prove it to you. Leadership comes in levels. Leader of nations. So these are people that are running our country. Hopefully they're leaders. People that are running our country, running other countries, running nations, okay? There are leaders of organizations, so CEOs, board chairs, people like that. There are leaders of others, so these are managers. And then there's this other little special category of leaders that we forget about, but it is the most important category of leadership. And if you have not, ladies, listen, this is important. If you have not mastered this important level of leadership. You can't lead other people. You can't start companies. You can't start your hair braid business. You can't finish your degree. It is important that you master this level, and it is the leadership of self. It's the ability to say, I'm gonna get up on time and go to school. It's the ability to say, I'm gonna do the right thing. You have to master this leadership level of self first before you go to any of this other stuff. So let me give you some principles on how you're gonna master these other levels, all right? First of all, tell me, who's your first crush? I know you remember. LL Cool J. Girl, what? What? What's his name? Who's your, come on, you already got my attention. Who's your first crush? By name.
It was Justin Bieber.
It was Justin Bieber. Okay, all right. Who else? Your first crush? Yes. You hit me with the Third grade, Isaiah Williams III. She said, I still remember his name. We all remember his name, girl. Trust me. Who else? Who's your your first crush?
Morris.
You hit me with okay.
Morris Chestnut.
Okay. All right. Okay. Me too, but edit that out. Don't show my husband. All right. What else? Who? Your first crush? First crush, ladies. Chris Brown. Okay. So this. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm coming over. Who was your first crush?
Terrell.
Who was he?
Terrell.
Terrell. Okay. All right. And what grade? What grade was it?
It was first grade.
First grade. Man. Crushes in the first grade. Okay. Yeah.
Miley's behavior.
Miley behavior?
Miley's behavior.
The whole group? Okay, all right, girl. So you ladies know that this, in terms of your crush, was pretty important, right? You wanted your crush to check which box? The yes box was really important, right? It's still important to this day. Ladies, leadership and your decision to be a leader is just this simple. It's a choice. Sometimes we think way too hard about stuff. We think, oh, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do that? Literally, like, just make a choice and do it. You can walk out of here today and say, I'm a leader. Like, you don't have to wait for anybody to give you that certification. You don't have to wait for it. Yeah, I'm a leader. What? Today, all right? So all you gotta do is check the yes box. So let me give you some foundational things to make sure that you can walk out of here today confident in that, okay? Here's a couple things to remember. Leadership is a choice, it's not a rank. Leadership is a choice, not a position. So ladies, when I say leadership is a choice, I don't mean CEO. I don't mean vice president. I mean leadership. Leadership and a position is two totally different things. Okay, leadership is a choice. Leadership is a choice, not a rank. Leadership is a choice one makes. So all these quotes that we see all over the internet, I want you to believe them, all right? And if for some reason you're having a hard time believing that, I made one, especially for you. Save a girl, save a world, peeps. Leadership is a choice. I'm giving you permission today if that's what you're waiting on, all right? You don't need permission to lead. So let me give you a few things that you can take away. First is self-awareness, understanding the impact that you have. And let me break that down to you as simple as it is. I teach etiquette, and sometimes just my presence in a place changes the mood of the place, and I know that. So let's keep it real. I have friends, we kick it. I meet them for happy hour. We do girls' night stuff. We drink wine because we're adults. I'm not saying go drink wine. We do adult things, all right? But sometimes, years ago, I would show up and my friends would get uncomfortable because they're like, oh, Jaqueline, who was just on TV, the etiquette teacher is here. And they felt like I'm there to like spoil the fun. Girl, please. I am here to have fun too. But I had to give my friends permission. I had to let them know, like, look, I'm not gonna bring any video cameras up in here. I'm not gonna bring a photographer up in here. I'm here to have fun, just like you are. So understand that sometimes your presence can change the temperature of the room. So where are my ladies in the room who do hair? You do hair, you braid hair, okay. So you may have experienced that when your friends come around and their hair is raggedy, they're like, oh Lord, like she's here, she's gonna judge my edges, like she's gonna be like, why didn't she use some edge control? That, you know, just that simple thing of understanding that sometimes when you walk in the room, it could change things. So understand your self-awareness, understand what impact you have. And here's how to do that. First, reflect daily. I have something that I use every day. And actually, I'm gonna come pull it out to prove to you. Who here uses a physical planner? You use a physical planner, all right. Who uses a digital planner? Something electronic, all right. So I use a planner. I know the cameraman is like, girl, stay still. I just like to really show some real things, that's all. This is my planner, and it's called the Panda Planner. There's also a planner that I really swear by called the Unplanned Planner. It's really the planner for people who aren't planners. But this is like a serious, because I'm a serious person. The reason why I like this planner, ladies, is because it forces me to answer a question every day. Tell me, what's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning? Check your phone. Who else checks their phone? First thing they do in the morning. Okay, thank you for being honest. When we do that, and I'm not judging you for that because I have 2 phones and I'm on every social media platform you can think of. And when you do that, you are putting everybody else's challenges into your life first before you've thought about yourself. So think about that. When I wake up, I write down something that's really important. It asks me a question. This planner asks me a question every day. It says, what are you grateful for? Ladies, you know what I write on the first line every day? I'm grateful for waking up. We could have not woke up today. That's heavy. And so before I do anything, before I'm grateful for my likes, before I'm grateful that people have retweeted me, have DM'd me about business, I am grateful that I woke up again to answer that DM. The second line is usually my husband. I'm very grateful for my husband. And then I go into other parts of the day. So I want you to reflect daily. Every day when you wake up, write down what you're grateful for. You're grateful for waking up. You're grateful for a warm house. You're grateful for running water. Grateful for food, whatever it is, just reflect daily. Second thing is to take personality tests. Who here has taken personality tests before? Okay, so what have you taken before? Myers-Briggs. There's something called the DISC assessment. And the reason why that's important is because it helps you to understand what your personality type is. Now, you'll change over time, but at least understand where you're at, ladies. Third is to think objectively. And when I say think objectively, I mean stick to the facts. Have you ever gotten an email from somebody before and you were like, why they say that like that? When they really didn't say anything like anything. You just read it like that. So stick to the facts. Think objectively. Don't always think, oh, this is a bad situation. Instead think, what can I learn from this situation? So think objectively. Last but not least, write down goals, plans, and priorities. Because you'll just keep going through life accomplishing stuff, not really understanding the impact you're making. I am still bad at that, ladies. I go from accomplishment to accomplishment. I never stop, or I don't do it as much. I need to stop more and say, girl, just 2 days ago, I got the second largest book order I've ever gotten in my life. And you know what? I had to make myself stop and say, drink a glass of wine in celebration of that. I'm just ready to move on to the next thing. And then I'm looking up and it's like, well, what are you working for? What am I working for if I can't stop and celebrate that stuff? So ladies, if you get an A on a test, I want you to stop and celebrate. I'm not saying go drink wine. That's not what I'm saying. Okay? I don't know. Give yourself some pop if you don't normally drink pop, or soda, whatever you call it. All right? Just stop and celebrate your wins is all I'm asking you to do. Okay? So you're going to reflect daily. You're going to take personality tests. You're going to think objectively. You're going to write down goals, plans, and priorities. The second thing I want you to do is be in the moment. Listen, I want your undivided attention on this one. This is going to sound really morbid and terrible, but it's true. It's possible that I could leave out of here today, get hit by a bus, and never see you guys again. I do not want that. I swear I don't. I have big plans, and I like to dance, and I want to do it again, all right? But in this moment, ladies, when we have each other, when I can look you all in your beautiful faces, and we can connect, let's do that. Because we don't know if we'll see each other again. So when you have the opportunity to connect with people, I want you to connect with them in real life. Your tweets, your posts, your snaps, all that stuff's gonna be there when you get back. But there's nothing that beats this human interaction, and I want you to take advantage of that, okay? So be in the moment. And I'm not judging when people are on their phones, because like I said before, I have 2 phones. I have 6 email accounts I manage 3 brands, so trust me, I am connected. But it's so important for me to just put my phone down and just be with you just for the moment, all right? And here's how you do it. First, unplug. I was disappointed in myself. I celebrated my 5-year wedding anniversary and we went to Cabo. And the first thing I did when I got to the resort, I was looking for Wi-Fi. Anybody else do that? You know you shouldn't be on that Wi-Fi, right? You're in Mexico, girl, go on the beach and be great, right? Looking for Wi-Fi. And luckily I have an understanding husband that gets that I have deadlines and I have a staff. but really I should have prioritized and just unplug. I should just unplugged, right? So just give yourself a chance to unplug, even if it's for 30 minutes a day, no social media. I put this thing on my phone now that tells me when I've been on social media for an hour or two a day. It just tracks my time. I'm not telling you don't be on social media, but just know how much time you're spending there, right? Because as soon as you get bored, you're going in there liking stuff, following people that you really shouldn't follow because they make you feel jealous or nervous or whatever else. You just go making silly decisions. So just unplug, all right? Secondly, find the good. There will always be bad stuff, but there's always an opportunity to find some good. For example, let's keep it real. Our political climate right now is a mess. But what's the good in it, ladies? Tell me what's one good thing that's happening. Although it's a political mess right now, tell me what's one good thing out of it. A record number of women were just elected and are engaging, right? It's a big deal. Were you about to say something? Engagement. Engagement is high. There's always some good in some stuff, always. Okay, so find the good in it. 3 is embrace minimalism. We were just talking a second ago about travel. I have the ability to travel now up to 4 days in this bad boy, in my book bag. I'm not gloating. I want to pass this knowledge on to you. The reason why I can do it is because you have to commit. You can't say, well, I'm gonna wear this, or this, or this, or this, or this. You gotta say, I'm gonna wear this, and I'm gonna roll with it. Which is good, because if you're going on vacation, why are you spending 2 hours trying to figure out what you're wearing? Roll with the outfit, you know it's cute, let's hit the streets. In a respectable way, okay, all right? Embrace minimalism, okay? And then last but not least is think beyond old solutions. Let's not just do stuff just because that's the way we've always did it. I'm gonna always wear braids because I've always worn braids. I'm gonna always get a relaxer because I've always had a relaxer. I'm gonna always wear a fro because I've always worn a fro, right? Maybe think beyond some old solutions. What's some stuff that might work in your life that you didn't realize is really gonna work? All right, so unplug, find the good, embrace minimalism, and think beyond old solutions. Last is to manage your inner voice. So ladies, here's what's up. There is never a time that I go speak somewhere that I'm not nervous, ever. I've been doing this for a long time. I used to be in oratorical contest in like the 4th grade. So I've been speaking forever. There is a reason why usually I speak with no sleeves. You can't really see it, but I probably got a sweat stain going on right here, but it's a lot of color, so you can't see it, okay? There is always something right here that's trying to talk me out of my greatness. Today, when I woke up, this little thing said to me, oh, Jaqueline, Glenda's gonna call, and she's gonna say she doesn't need you anymore. Or, oh, we ran out of time, and we don't need you to speak anymore. Or this morning when I realized that I left my blazers at home, so I had to go down to the gift shop to buy this. It's cute though, so I'm happy I did lose my stuff. My mind was like, see, you don't even have anything to wear, so you're gonna have to tell them that you can't make it. Who else has this little thing on their shoulder that's trying to talk them out of their greatness, right? That's trying to trick you. Girl, you don't run fast enough. You're not gonna make the track team. Like, you're not cute enough. He's not gonna ask you to prom or homecoming or, that thing. It's always here, and you have to talk back to it. So I've had to learn to talk back to it, and I've also had to learn to manage anxiety. I've had anxiety since I was 19. Who else has anxiety in the room? And isn't it amazing that it plagues so many women, and like we don't talk about it? Like, anxiety, if you haven't experienced it or if you're not sure that's what it is, it makes you feel like things that aren't that serious are much more serious, right? And so for me, when I feel anxiety coming on, I let it talk to me. I'm like, I'll ask myself, well, Jaqueline, why are you feeling anxious? Like, what's going on? And it's usually one of 3 things. I'm jealous about something. Maybe I've just scrolled social media and I've seen that my competitor is crushing it, and I'm like, dang it, darn it. Right? We get jealous. I'm jealous about something. I'm nervous about something, or I have not prepared properly. And you got to be honest with yourself and saying, man, I feel anxious about this test because I went out last night and I should have stayed home and studied. And it's okay to just be honest. Like, this is why I'm feeling anxious. Let me now just spend the last 30 minutes just studying as hard as I can and let me move on. Right? And that's it. Like, don't let anxiety plague you. But let me give you some more tips. I just wanted to show you that, in every single one of these scenarios, I'm nervous. My photo shoots, I'm nervous. When I go to book signings, I'm nervous, and you just push through it. Imagine if you just said, well, I'm nervous, I'm not gonna do this stuff. I'm nervous, I'm not gonna take this test. I'm nervous, I'm not gonna go to law school. Please, just push through it, all right? So here are your tips. First, stop making excuses. Stop making excuses. Number one excuse I hear, oh, I can't get up early and be on time because I'm not a morning person. Yeah, you are. You just choose to not be a morning person. Stop making excuses. Number two, and you're not gonna 100% like this one, but it's super real, and I want you to watch your circle, okay? Ladies, I am not saying go get rid of all your friends. This is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that sometimes you have to figure out how to grow and stretch yourself and grow your circle a bit so you can go to places that you haven't been before. The prime example of this is every year I teach etiquette training to the rookies of the Detroit Lions. And my first 30 minutes with them every single year is helping them to understand that you are different. You want to believe that you just got $20 million in your bank account and you're the same guy, but you can't go hang out on the block anymore, okay? If you want to come hang out on my block and give me some of that money, roll on through, right? But listen, I'm not telling them to go and not hang out with your friends anymore. I'm just saying that maybe you hang out in a different corner now, right? Maybe you go in different places. And maybe you can't take your friend who don't know how to act to the suite. That's gonna get you messed up, right? So just watch your circle. Third is raise your self-awareness. Start to really ask yourself tough questions like, oh, am I saying offensive things that I'm just not owning up to? Am I really stretching myself as much as I should? Like, don't just say that I'm just this way. This is just the way I am and I'm always gonna be this way. Maybe if you ask yourself just a couple tough questions, you can grow a little bit. Last is this is very important, ladies, practice self-compassion. What I mean there is you're gonna mess up. You're going to mess up. And it is okay to say, I'm sorry, I messed up, and move on. Like, don't wallow in the stuff that you messed up on for the rest of your life. In my book, I have 10 mistakes that I made. Many of them pretty darn embarrassing. Stuff that honestly, I could have stopped in my career and just been, a basic employee. I'll give you one example of it. It's a chapter on respect. I was probably 4-ish. I was working at a company called Velasquez, and I didn't really like my boss that much. Her name was Heather. And on a Wednesday, Heather was walking down the hall, and she had a black mark on her head. Now, I grew up in a Baptist church. Never went to Catholic church one time growing up. Not familiar with Catholicism at all. So her walking down the hall, I snarkily said, got some black stuff on your head. Not realizing it's Ash Wednesday, right? And she just came back from praising the Lord in her own way. And she looked at me with a bit of disgust and, disrespect, disappointment, because the way I said it, although I didn't know what it was, I didn't have to say it like that. And so much of what we do is based on how we say it. And honestly, if I ran across Heather again, she probably would not give me a job opportunity because I was disrespectful to something that meant so much to her. You know what I had to do? I'm sorry, Heather, wherever you're at, and I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna write a chapter about it. My bad. I know about it now. I'm gonna be respectful in the future, and that's it. We're going to mess up. You're gonna mess up. If you get to be my age, if you get to be 50, 60, I hope you live a long and fruitful life. But you're gonna mess up a lot, and it is okay to say, I messed up, I'm sorry, and move on, okay? So you're gonna stop making excuses, you're gonna watch your circle, you're gonna raise your self-awareness, and you're gonna practice self-compassion. Listen, I want to ask you another question. Who in the room is a leader? I see almost everyone's hand raised. Okay, all right. Ladies, leadership is a choice. It is a decision. A lot of things that we have in life are a decision, and we just wait. We wait, we wait. I'll give you one last story, actually a story that really changed my life. 5 years ago, I moved to Washington, D.C. And when I moved there, the plan was to expand my business, Scarlet Communications. We moved there, though, because my husband got a new job opportunity. I got a message on LinkedIn. Who's familiar with LinkedIn? If you're not, you need to get familiar. I got a message on LinkedIn that said, hey, we're looking for somebody to be an event management consultant. Do you know anybody? One thing that I have been consistent about in my career is that I stay curious. I stay curious about, okay, like I don't have a degree in that, but you're interested in me doing it? Well, let's just see. Just because you didn't go to have a degree in something doesn't mean that you can't do it, right? So I'm very curious about opportunities. So I responded to the message and I said, well, I'll talk to you. I went to that opportunity and they ended up offering me the largest contract I've ever had in my life, which was big. But then I start thinking, well, I came here specifically to grow my company, so what should I do? Should I take this opportunity or should I take this job? I just kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I was telling my cousin who had a coach, and he was like, hey, you should just talk to my coach, run this thing by him and see what he thinks. So I'm telling the guy, I don't know if I should take it, it's great money, blah, 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 blah. He said, he was quiet, and finally at the end of the call, first of all, I was hesitant about talking to this guy because he costs a lot of money. Coaches are like hundreds of dollars an hour, which at the time I thought was really stupid. But he said to me, just make a decision. And if you don't like the decision, make another decision. And I was like, huh, this is so true and so basic, right? And then if you think about it, for the ladies who are here, who's changed their major in college, right? And you change it and you're like, I don't know, should I choose this? Then you're like, let me just choose another one. Oh, that wasn't that hard, right? Just make another decision. Now, ladies, I'm not saying go out and make bad decisions, like sleep around with people or take drugs. I'm not saying that stuff. But the stuff that you can like just move on and try something else, just make a decision and move on. But it requires you to make a decision for sure that you are a leader. All right, so I'm glad that I saw all your hands raised. So I know that I gave you a lot of information today, but I do want to leave you with 6 other things. I am an etiquette teacher, and so I can't leave here today without knowing that you know this stuff, all right? So handshake, how many pumps go in a handshake? 2, very good. What's the first step of an introduction? Eye contact, very good. You're gonna get to this point in your life, and many of you are here right now, where you're gonna start really wanting more mentors, and you're gonna start asking for advice. Can I meet you and ask you for advice? Can you be my coach? Can you be my business coach? All this stuff. If you ask, you pay. Which means that if you ask me out for coffee, Miss Jaqueline, I want to talk to you over coffee and I just want to pick your brain about some stuff, ask me to McDonald's or Panera or somewhere you can afford. All right, don't try to take your work money and take me to Red Lobster. I don't need it, all right? Just go get coffee. Now, I will say that when anybody usually asks me out, I usually end up paying. Like, I'm not gonna take your last college money to go have me drink coffee. But remember that the protocol, the etiquette is that if you ask, you pay. Wine, I'm not saying go drink wine, but I am gonna tell you that wine glasses are held by the stem and not by the goblet. All right, so you're not holding a wine glass by the base, you're holding it like literally 2 fingers by the stem. Also, be careful in your email communication about how you use caps. Capital letters means that you're hollering. All right, so write in regular case in your email communication. All right. Travel, I travel quite a bit. I'm on a plane quite a few times in a month. And one of my biggest pet peeves is when I get to my seat and someone is sitting in my seat. Now, I'm a flexible traveler. Like, honestly, I can sit in the middle, the window. Like, I really don't care. I'm little, so I'm usually trying to look out for people who are bigger. Like, if you want more room, I'm fine. I'm okay with that. But what I'm not okay with is when I get to the seat and you've already made it your point to sit in my seat without asking me, that's a no-go. So if you want to sit in somebody else's seat for whatever reason, ask them first, because if not, they might say no, all right? Last but not least is time. Time is the one thing in life that we can't get back. Can't buy it back, can't barter it back, can't steal it back, can't do dance moves for it back. You just can't get it back, all right? So I want you to be respectful of your time and the time of other people. There are some people that I won't meet anymore because they don't respect my time. So I want you to be careful of wasting people's time. How far in advance should you arrive to an interview? 15 minutes, very good. All right, so today we've covered self-awareness, we've covered the importance of being in the moment, and we've also talked about managing your inner voice. But like I said before, I know that I gave you a lot of stuff today, like probably more than what you bargained for. So I want to make sure that you can stay connected. So if you ever have questions about dating etiquette, travel etiquette, business etiquette, I encourage all of you to travel abroad. So when you start going international, the rules about etiquette are going to completely change. Do not hesitate to reach out to me. You know how many times I was in a session like this growing up and somebody like me came to speak and they said, reach out to me, and I didn't? And I'm looking back like, man, I should have reached out to them. Ladies, seriously, when you need stuff, just reach out and ask. And then if you want to join the leader list, I release a free set of leadership tips every month that are downloadable that you can easily implement into your life. So if you might like to join that, feel free to as well. Ladies, I look forward to your success. I look forward to all of the wonderful contributions that you're going to make to the world. And more importantly, I look forward to the next time I see you. If I ask you if you're a leader, you shouldn't flinch, you shouldn't hesitate. There should be no hesitation in your voice. You are a leader. I gave you permission. That's it. Thank you, ladies.